I do want to talk about the Progressive Victory stuff, and just so you all know, they cut me a check. Progressive Victory cuts me a check. Not for my content, right? But for going to a meeting.
Where's the money? How are they paying an estimated $20,000 a month for the streamers on payroll, which is annualized at $240,000 a year, when this is all they do? This is their cash. Let's talk about Progressive Victory. Who is Progressive Victory? I mean, who really is Progressive Victory? I think people are asking a lot of the wrong questions. And the best thing I can do is just help narrow this down to the concerns I have that are pretty outside of the scope of the normal concerns. So, Progressive Victory, let's just read about them for a quick second. Our community, Progressive Victory, is a new kind of political community built by the internet for the internet. Our community is turning the tides in elections across the country. Progressive Victory seeks to challenge the traditional method of political organizing by engaging people through online media with focus on building solidarity with streamers and social influencers. Great. Break that down, what that means on your own time, okay? The PV community is based online, hosted in a dedicated Discord server. PV works closely with online content creators on Twitch and YouTube to get their engaged, dedicated audience into the PV community Discord. There, we're bringing new people into the political process by giving them the tactics, resources, and support to make their voice. So what they're trying to do is implement a strategy in which they identify streamers that align with a political agenda and are willing to basically proselytize to their audience to recruit for this organization. Progressive Victory is constantly growing, with new members joining the community every day. The community is built upon values of equity and inclusion with zero tolerance policy for hate. All members asked to sign on the PV rules before gaining access to the community are upheld to the highest standard. Our mission, Progressive Victory, is committed to building our community of new to activism volunteers, the audience of the streamers, by empowering members to develop the skills and gain the knowledge needed to become lifelong activists. They want to recruit, train, and coach you. But I'm not against this. I think this is stuff that happens all around the world. I don't have a problem with an organization being above board and openly trying to recruit people that believe in their agenda and have them be raving fans and advocates as a recruiting tool. But that's not what's happening. So if that what was happening and a political organization wanted to help promote those streamers that were actively partnered with them publicly, fine, no problem, but that's not what's happening. Progressive Victory's unifying mission is to ensure progressive candidates are elected to positions of power and progressive policies implemented. Over the long term, Progressive Victory aims to create a progressive power bloc within the Democratic Party that is too big to ignore. Progressive Victory values unity above all and seeks to connect progressives across the ideological spectrum with the common goal of creating a more just world. Regardless of our differences, we unite over the need to take pro-democracy actions in these unprecedented times. So what they're saying is they are an organization that is trying to recruit, train, and coach you to help them gain power and influence so that they can influence the Democratic Party. They have an organization, they have a goal, they have a project. So what they want to do is they want to sell it to their audience that they already have capture and a slavish devotion, and they want to use that as a way to bring people in. So there is an interview that I will refer to later and show you that will, Sam himself, the guy that runs all this, he explains to you this is what he's doing. So you don't have to take my word for it. Never take my word for it. Always do your research. But I am providing you the resources that you can do to save yourself the time. So Here's Sam. He's the director. We'll get to him in just a minute. But there's something we're going to notice over and over. And it deals with the way the name Progressive Victory is used. And so what is the general claim being made by the people being paid by Progressive Victory?
Things like that. But I do want to talk about the Progressive Victory stuff. And just so you all know, they cut me a check. Progressive Victory cuts me a check. Not for my content, right? But for going to a meeting. I did receive some clarity on the meeting and what I can and can't share. So I can tell you that no, they've never asked to see my data, and I've never shared my data with them. Like, so my analytics and stuff, I know that was a question. I wasn't sure if I could even say if they've asked me or not, right? I wasn't sure, but I got clarity. So I'm telling you right now, they don't have access to my data. I've never given them access to my data. They've never asked for access to my data. There you go. Boom. Easy. Yeah, they cut me a check. Well, they give me a direct deposit. I'm old, but I'm not that old, right? Yeah, I'm paid by Progressive Victory.
So I'm paid by Progressive Victory. Their mission is to have streamers recruit and build their organization. But the claim by the streamers is I'm paid for my political opinion. I'm a consultant to help the organization. But the question is, who is Progressive Victory and who are they helping? So let's take a quick run through these. There's two different Progressive Victories. This is one thing that's not being asked. Which Progressive Victory are they paid by and which one do they work for? There is the Progressive Victory Action, which is the PAC, and there's Progressive Victory LLC. Both of them are at the same address and both of them are run by the same person. So who are they paid by? Are they paid by the LLC? And if they're paid by the LLC, how does the LLC get their money to pay the streamers? Do they get their money from the PAC? If they get their money from the PAC, then these are donations. And as you're going to see in a minute, it doesn't kind of add up for what's going on. So either way, something doesn't add up. But in addition to these two businesses, Sam also has had a business before that called Clever Edge LLC. But I'll talk about Sam more in just a minute. In addition to that, you have Rebellion Pac that sponsored Wick's stream. This stream is sponsored by Rebellion Pac. So you had briannawu working for Rebellion Pac because she's part of the ownership, the treasurer as of last record, but that's her and Jenk's political action committee. But there's also Rebellion Policy Institute registered at the same address in Maryland that Rebellion Pac is registered. So just like with Sam, they have the political PAC and they have an LLC, two different organizations. So when Wick was he paid by Rebellion Pac or was he paid by Rebellion Policy Institute? What are these things and how are they funded? There may be absolutely nothing wrong. This may be standard operating procedure. I don't know anything about this industry. But what I know is every time you hear them refer to Progressive Victory, they refer to it as Progressive Victory without the specification of the PAC or the LLC. And that's part of what I don't understand and I think isn't being addressed. Again, there may be nothing nefarious, but it isn't being addressed. Okay. So they claim I'm paying streamers and the streamers say they're being paid to go to meetings. And that is all that's all they're being paid for. Their value is their political opinion and they get paid to show up basically like a focus group and give their opinions. Connor is there because he represents conservatives around the country and he is the counterbalance to their focus group session to help them better understand how to communicate to the conservative mind. These are all the things that the streamers have said is why they're being paid. But the goal of Progressive Victory is to use streamers to grow their organization by growing the channels and growing their influence. And as we saw, the sponsored streams by Rebellion Pac that Whick did, it's my understanding they were used for marketing material as Rebellion Pac saw fit. So there is a marketing component here for Progressive Victory with their stated goal of building a collective that they can use as political influence to have a say in what the corporate Democrat Party does in America. So that is the overall goal of the organization. But which organization? Whose website is this? What bothers me about this is when we go through and we take a closer look at some markings on websites. See, I used to be in the sign business, and we used to have to, you don't only have to, get their branding accurate and their disclosures accurate, but you have to, any registered trademarks have to be on there identifying. We would have to go in and get color matching for their branding for national companies to make sure the banners we were producing were the right Pantone for them. So when I look at these websites and there's missing identification marks, so you see how the logo is there, but there's no registered mark. When you start looking for knockoffs and things that aren't looking official, when there's no proper marks with the branding, that starts to trigger me a little bit. But when you look even closer and you go down, right, it says paid for by Progressive Victory. Progressive Victory what? Progressive Victory LLC or Progressive Victory PAC? How do you not disclose that? I don't understand. You have a PAC and you have an LLC, but on your own website, it's not clear. So we're already working with a lack of disclosure as their main website. But then let's take a closer look at what the website name is. Progressive Victory dot what? Has anybody else seen a .win address? I haven't. Now, if you want to donate to Progressive Victory without any, trademarks to say they own these logos, right? You can give money. Now, over here it says support Progressive Victory. Progressive Victory is mobilizing its members, so it doesn't specify which Progressive Victory here. Progressive Victory is mobilizing its members to win elections in 2023 and beyond. Use the form on the right to support PV's efforts to empower its members and make an impact on our democracy. Now, choose an amount. Your contribution will benefit Progressive Victory PAC. Okay, so does that mean the money is going to Progressive Victory PAC? No. It means the purpose of raising the money will be to benefit Progressive Victory PAC. But surely if you're donating, and if you're donating to the PAC, then it's the PAC. So by proceeding with this transaction, you agree to Act Blue's terms and conditions. Who's Act Blue? Why is Act Blue the one collecting the money and not Progressive Victory? Paid for by Act Blue, actblue.com, and not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. Contribution or gifts to Act Blue are not deductible as charitable contributions to federal income tax for federal income tax purposes. Now, the federal income tax purposes is nothing special. These donations aren't deductible anyway. Sam explains this in the podcast. He explains a conditional with Susan Collins, and I don't want to explain it. You can listen to it, but he explains how instead of donating to help this person, you donate to help this party, and then they use the apparatus to support an opponent of somebody or to support a candidate. But the example he gives is to support opposition. It's not about they like the candidate. It's about how to be the opposition to gain power. And the streamers believe they are part of a progressive movement, but the agenda of the organization is power in the Democratic Party. So what kind of will help you better understand why the streamers themselves would want to know what's going on to protect themselves and their future, listen to this podcast. He explains it's the great battlefield. It's like 5 days old now. And it goes through interviewing him, and he explains his background, how much he likes about being a DC, Washington insider, what he loves about the power of the Senate, and how he has seen the right from Gamergate to today, which is what this man wants to build. This man, to sum up his goal, he believes he is Luffy from One Piece, and Bannon is like one of the bad people from One Piece. And so unlike Gamergate and Bannon, one of the bad guys who built this infrastructure of weaponizing groups of people by using online influence to control other people and manipulate opinions, he wants to be the good guy version of that and duplicate the infrastructure that Bannon and Flynn and the right have built. He wants to use you to do that for the Democrats. So I'm not judging it, but that's what he wants to do. It's his stated agenda. If we take a look at what really worries me, if everything I said was absolutely nothing and there's nothing to worry about, that's wonderful. But I do think people should know the answers to these questions and should have done their research. But now that we're here and they're already entrenched and they're telling you all they're getting paid for is meetings, when that is preposterous. Like, they don't have a political resume. They're not getting paid to go to a survey group once a week and help the PAC decide where to go. The leader of the PAC has already said he's going to control where to go. It's not like a democratic process. You guys are just part of a collective, and these meetings and paying you for the meetings are part of the inflated value that they're giving you. They're throwing money at you for the purpose of getting you to buy in and for them to like jumpstart this process instead of faking it organically. When they haven't asked where the $500,000 from the unnamed donor came from for Sam to do this business, and they don't know who's funding it, how can they know what the actual objectives of the company are? And I think that would be something they really want to care about. So the harm that I'm seeing is this false sense of security and values. We've already witnessed progressive victory creators project the idea they are now part of a political industry and are talking about their impact and how they want to talk to other PACs, claiming they can stop making money on stream and can be fine because of progressive victory. In reality, you guys won the lotto, but winning a scratch off is not a skill. Recognize you are a tool for their goals and not the other way around. Sam said you are replaceable, and frankly, you are. Look at this as the gift that it is and not as some long-term change in the trajectory of your career. Because if you don't really know who's paying you, and if everything is going through the LLC, then you don't know what's going on, and you have a lot of questions to ask. But if this is going through the PAC, the total receipts they brought in were just over $80,000, and their expenditures on that $80,000 were $44,000. So where's the money? Where's the money? How are they paying an estimated $20,000 a month for the streamers on payroll, which is annualized at $240,000 a year, when this is all they do? This is their cash. So if they're paying you from the PAC, I would be worried about how long till the money dries up, or if it's not, where is the vast increase in funding coming from? Now, you can get this year's raw data, but I'm not going to run through and waste your time with that. So I just put all this together. Hopefully it helps summarize it all up without all the narratives and everything on the side. Take from it what you will, and appreciate you.